Change doesn't take decades. It doesn't even have to take years. The truth is, the moment you decide to step away from the old version of yourself, everything begins to shift. Most people wait for the perfect time to reinvent their lives, but perfection never comes. The secret is to start now, with focus, intention, and a clear blueprint to follow. In this audiobook, we will break down the exact steps you need to follow for the next 21 days to completely transform your life, not in theory, not in abstract ideas, but in clear, practical actions that will help you rebuild your mindset, your habits, and your confidence from the ground up. Each chapter will give you a piece of the puzzle, from burning away the excuses that hold you back, to designing a future so compelling it pulls you forward, to building the discipline and systems that make success inevitable. This is not about temporary motivation. This is about lasting change, the kind that makes you look back just 3 weeks from now and hardly recognize the person you used to be. All you need is commitment, consistency, and the willingness to push yourself further than before. Because in 21 days, you can set in motion the habits, mindset, and clarity that can change everything about your future. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Burn the old you to the ground. Before you can build the life you've always wanted, you must first let go of the person you've been. Think about it. You can't step into a new identity while clinging to the old one. If you want to transform your life in the next 21 days, you have to make a bold, almost radical decision. The old version of you, the one full of excuses, bad habits, and self-doubt, must be destroyed, not repaired, not slightly improved, completely burned to the ground. This might sound dramatic, but it's the truth. Real change doesn't happen when you try to fix small pieces of your life while leaving the rest untouched. Imagine trying to build a brand new house on a shaky, crumbling foundation. No matter how beautiful the design, it will eventually collapse. The same is true for your life. If you carry the same toxic habits, the same negative thought patterns, and the same limiting beliefs into this next chapter, nothing will truly change. So today, you must declare an ending. Take a moment and look at the person you've been, the choices you've made, the fears you've obeyed, the opportunities you've wasted. Be brutally honest with yourself. Who do you no longer want to be? What behaviors have been holding you back? This step is not about shame or guilt. It's about clarity. You can't fight what you refuse to face. Here's the hard truth. For years, you've been reinforcing the identity of the old you. Every time you gave in to procrastination, every time you said yes when you should have said no, every time you avoided discomfort, you were building that version stronger. But starting now, you're taking your power back. From this day forward, you stop feeding that old identity. You stop giving it energy. You stop letting it dictate your future. A powerful way to do this is through symbolic action. Write down everything about the old you that you're leaving behind. The habits, the fears, the excuses. Be specific. Then destroy that piece of paper. Burn it. Rip it up. Throw it away. This isn't just a ritual. It's a declaration. You're telling yourself and the world, that person is gone. I am no longer that version of me. The next 21 days will demand courage. The old you will try to fight back. It will whisper lies. It's too hard. You can't change. You've failed before. When that voice appears, remember this moment. Remember that you burned the bridge behind you. There's no going back. When you destroy the old you, you create space for the new you to emerge. A stronger, more disciplined, more powerful version of yourself. And this new identity isn't built on wishful thinking. It's built on actions, repeated day after day. Today marks the true beginning, not just of a 21-day challenge, but of a completely different life. The old you is gone. The future you've always dreamed of is waiting to be built, and it all starts now. Chapter 2. Create a vision. So clear it pulls you forward. Now that you've burned the old you to the ground, it's time to design the future you want to create. You can't just leave behind the past and step into an empty space. If you don't give your life a clear direction, you'll slip right back into old patterns. This is where most people fail. They try to change without knowing what they're changing into. Think about it like this. If you were setting out on a road trip, you wouldn't just get in the car and start driving aimlessly. You'd have a destination in mind. You'd set the GPS. You'd know where you were going. Even if you didn't know every turn along the way, your life works the same way. Without a vision, you wander. With a vision, you move with purpose. The difference between the people who achieve greatness and those who stay stuck is simple. Clarity. Successful people don't just have goals, They have a crystal clear picture of the life they're creating. Their vision is so compelling that it literally pulls them forward, even on the hard days. When the alarm goes off in the morning, their vision is what gets them out of bed. When challenges come, their vision is what keeps them pushing forward instead of giving up. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to get specific. Vague dreams lead to vague actions. Saying, I want to be successful isn't enough. Success to one person might mean financial freedom, while to another, it means deep relationships or living in a state of peace and health. You need to define your version of success. If you don't, you'll end up chasing someone else's dream and wondering why you feel unfulfilled. Here's a powerful exercise. Close your eyes and imagine it's 12 months from now. You've been living with focus, discipline, and commitment for an entire year. What does your life look like? Where do you live? What does your morning feel like when you wake up? Who surrounds you? How much money are you making? What kind of person are you? Don't just think about what you want to have. Think about who you want to become. The clearer your vision, the more powerful it becomes. Write it down in detail. Don't just keep it in your head. There's something almost magical about putting words on paper. It makes the dream tangible. It shifts it from a wish to a commitment. Be bold. Don't edit yourself because of fear or doubt. Write the vision of the life you truly want, even if it feels impossible right now. Once you've written it, break it into categories. Maybe you have a vision for your health, your finances, your relationships, and your personal growth. Define what extraordinary looks like in each area. When you can see it clearly, you can start making decisions that align with it. Here's why this matters so much. Life will try to pull you in 100 different directions. People will have opinions. Distractions will compete for your attention. Without a strong vision, you'll be swept up by whatever feels urgent in the moment. But with a strong vision, you'll have an internal compass that keeps you on track. Every decision becomes simpler. Does this move me closer to my vision or further away? If it brings you closer, you say yes. If it pulls you away, you say no. It really is that simple, but only when you know what you're moving toward. In the next 21 days, your vision will be your fuel. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up. Days when the old you tries to creep back in. In those moments, go back to your vision. Read it out loud. Visualize it in your mind. Feel it in your heart. Let it pull you forward when willpower feels weak. Remember this: people who drift through life without a vision end up living by default. They react to circumstances instead of creating them. But people with a clear, compelling vision live by design. They don't wait for the future to happen. They build it. Today, you are choosing to live by design. You've destroyed the old you, and now you're laying the foundation for the new you. Create a vision so vivid, so real, that it excites you and scares you at the same time. Because when your vision is powerful enough, you won't need to push yourself endlessly. The vision will pull you. And when that happens, transformation becomes inevitable. This is how you create a future worth fighting for. This is how you become unrecognizable. Chapter 3. Take extreme ownership of your life. Up until now, you may have blamed people, circumstances, or even luck for where you are in life. Maybe you've pointed to your past, your upbringing, your lack of resources, or the unfairness of the world. And you know what? Some of that might be true. Maybe people did hurt you. Maybe opportunities were stolen from you. Maybe life hasn't been fair. But here's the harsh reality. Blaming won't change a thing. Blame keeps you stuck. Ownership sets you free. Taking extreme ownership means you stop pointing fingers outward and start looking inward. It means you accept that no one is coming to rescue you. Not tomorrow, not next year, not ever. If your life is going to change, it will change because you decided to change it. That can feel overwhelming at first, but it's actually the most empowering truth you'll ever embrace. Because if you are the problem, then you are also the solution. Most people don't want to hear this. They'd rather keep their list of excuses. They'd rather say, I'd be successful if my boss wasn't so difficult, or I'd be healthier if my family supported me, or I'd be happier if life just gave me a break. But every time you say those words, you give away your power. You hand the steering wheel of your life to someone or something else, and then you wonder why you feel stuck. From this moment forward, you take the wheel back. Everything in your life, your health, your relationships, your finances, your happiness, is your responsibility. Not your parents, not your bosses, not society's, not the government's. Yours. That doesn't mean everything is your fault. There's a difference between blame and responsibility. You might not have caused a problem, but it's still your job to deal with it. If someone spills coffee on your shirt, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to clean it up. If you don't want to walk around stained all day. When you fully embrace this mindset, something incredible happens. You stop waiting. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop waiting for someone to notice you. You stop waiting for life to magically get better. You start acting like the CEO of your own life, making decisions with purpose and direction. Here's how you begin practicing extreme ownership in these next 21 days. First, take a hard look at every area of your life. Your career, your relationships, your health, your finances. Write them down and ask yourself, where am I not taking full responsibility? Be brutally honest. If you're unhappy at work, don't just blame your boss. Ask yourself, what have I done to either improve this situation or change it completely? If your health is suffering, don't just blame your genetics or your schedule. Ask yourself, what actions am I taking every day to create a healthier me? Next, eliminate victim language from your vocabulary. Words are powerful. When you say things like, I can't, or it's not my fault, or there's nothing I can do, you program your mind to stay powerless. Replace those words with statements like, I choose, or I will, or here's how I'll fix it. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, speaking with ownership changes how you think and feel. Finally, commit to solving problems, not just identifying them. Anyone can complain about what's wrong. Few people actually take action to make things right. The more you focus on solutions, the more powerful you become. Extreme ownership isn't easy. It requires humility, courage, and relentless honesty. It means admitting when you've messed up. It means accepting that you've wasted time, avoided hard decisions, or settled for less than you deserve. But it also gives you freedom. Because once you stop blaming and start owning, you realize you're not trapped by your past. You're free to create a completely new future. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who've built incredible lives. None of them got there by sitting around waiting for someone else to hand them success. They made bold moves. They owned their choices. They did whatever it took, and now so will you. The old you is gone. The new you doesn't make excuses. The new you takes action, even when it's uncomfortable. From this day forward, no more blaming, no more waiting, no more hoping that someone else will fix things. You are in charge. You are the driver. And if you stay committed to this mindset for the next 21 days and beyond, there will come a moment when you look at your life and realize you don't even recognize it, because you built it with your own 2 hands. Chapter 4. Master your mornings. Win the day. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you start your day. Your mornings set the tone for everything that follows. Think about it. When you wake up late, rush out the door and start your day in chaos. How does the rest of the day feel? Scattered, unfocused, reactive. But when you wake up with intention, calm, and clarity, you create momentum that carries you forward. Successful people understand this. They don't leave their mornings to chance. They design them like an architect designs a masterpiece. Why? Because the first hour of your day is like the foundation of a building. If it's strong and solid, everything built on top of it will stand tall. But if it's weak and shaky, the whole structure eventually crumbles. Most people begin their day by reacting to the world. The first thing they do is grab their phone, check messages, scroll through social media, and immediately let other people's demands and opinions invade their mind. By the time they finish breakfast, they're already overwhelmed. They haven't even thought about their own goals or priorities, yet they're drowning in everyone else's noise. That's not how you win. Here's the truth. If you don't take control of your mornings, someone else will. Your phone, your job, the news, they'll all dictate your mood, your focus, and your energy before you've even had a chance to set the tone yourself. So for the next 21 days, you are going to design and protect your mornings like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. Start by creating a morning ritual that prepares you mentally, physically, and emotionally for the day ahead. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be intentional. The first step is waking up earlier than usual. Even just 30 minutes earlier can give you the space you need to think, reflect, and plan without distraction. This quiet time is priceless. It's the moment when you set the direction for everything that will happen later. Once you're awake, avoid diving straight into your phone or emails. Instead, do something that centers you. For some people, it's meditation or deep breathing. For others, it's reading something inspiring or writing in a journal. The goal is simple. Quiet the noise and focus on who you want to be today. Next, move your body. It doesn't matter if it's a full workout, a quick stretch, or a short walk outside. Physical movement wakes you up, releases tension, and tells your brain it's time to show up. Even 5 minutes of movement can shift your energy completely. Then, review your priorities for the day. Ask yourself, what are the top 3 things I need to accomplish today to move closer to my vision? Write them down. These are your non-negotiables, the tasks that will create real progress. When you know what truly matters, you stop wasting time on distractions. Another powerful tool is gratitude. Take a moment to think about 3 things you're genuinely thankful for. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on abundance rather than lack. It's hard to feel stressed or defeated when you're in a state of appreciation. Here's why all of this matters. When you start your day with intention, you put yourself in the driver's seat. Instead of reacting to the world, you create the world you want to experience. It's like stepping onto a battlefield fully armed and ready, rather than wandering in unprepared. In the beginning, it may feel difficult to stick to a morning routine. The old you will try to convince you to hit snooze, to check your phone, to do it later. Don't listen. This is where discipline kicks in. Remind yourself that every morning is a fresh opportunity to become the person you want to be. Imagine how different your life could look if you mastered just this one thing. Over time, these mornings will compound. The clarity, focus, and energy you build each day will spill into every area of your life. Your career, your relationships, your health, your confidence. It all starts with that first hour. For the next 21 days, guard your mornings fiercely. Make them sacred. Don't let anyone or anything steal that time from you. Because when you master your mornings, you don't just win the day. You set yourself on a path to win your entire life. Chapter 5. Erase the habits that keep you stuck. By now, you've started to see the outline of a new you taking shape. You've burned the old identity, created a vision, taken ownership, and started designing powerful mornings. But here's the thing. None of it will stick if you keep dragging your old habits into your new life. You can't rise to your full potential while carrying the same destructive patterns that kept you average. It's like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. No matter how fast you try to go, you'll always be weighed down. Habits are powerful. They shape your days, your weeks, and eventually your entire life. Most of what you do every day isn't the result of conscious decisions. It's automatic behavior. That's why bad habits are so dangerous. They operate in the background, silently sabotaging your progress without you even noticing. And here's the truth. Success isn't just about adding good habits. It's also about erasing the bad ones that keep you stuck in cycles of frustration and failure. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you refuse to see. Over the next 21 days, start observing yourself like a detective. Notice the patterns that show up in your life. When do you procrastinate? What triggers you to scroll on your phone mindlessly for hours? When do you reach for unhealthy food or skip workouts? When do you let fear or self-doubt stop you from taking action? Write these moments down. The goal isn't to judge yourself, but to expose the invisible routines that have been controlling you. Once you've identified your destructive habits, it's time to face a hard truth. These habits didn't just appear out of nowhere. You built them brick by brick through repetition, and the only way to destroy them is to stop feeding them. Imagine a fire burning in a fireplace. If you stop adding wood, the fire doesn't go out instantly. It flickers. It fights. It tries to stay alive. But eventually, it dies. Your bad habits work the same way. When you stop giving them your attention and energy, they lose their grip on you. Let's get practical. For each habit you want to erase, identify the trigger, the thing that starts the behavior. Maybe you overeat when you're stressed. Maybe you waste time on social media when you're bored. Maybe you procrastinate whenever you feel overwhelmed. Once you know the trigger, you can disrupt the cycle. Instead of automatically following the old pattern, you create a new response. Stress hits, go for a walk instead of raiding the kitchen. Feeling bored, read a chapter of a book instead of scrolling endlessly. The key is to replace, not just remove. Nature hates a vacuum. If you simply stop doing something without filling the gap, you'll fall back into the old habit eventually. Another powerful tool is environment design. Most people rely solely on willpower to fight their bad habits, but willpower is like a phone battery. It drains throughout the day. A better strategy is to make the habit harder to do. If you want to stop eating junk food, don't keep it in the house. If you want to cut down on mindless scrolling, delete the apps from your phone or set screen time limits. If you want to stop hitting snooze, put your alarm clock across the room so you have to physically get up to turn it off. The easier it is to engage in a bad habit, the more likely you are to repeat it. So flip the script. Make bad habits inconvenient and good habits effortless. This won't be easy. Your old self will fight back because those habits have been with you for a long time. There will be moments when you slip up, and that's okay. What matters is that you don't give up. One bad day doesn't erase your progress. The goal is progress, not perfection. Imagine where you could be 21 days from now if you simply stopped doing the things that hold you back. Imagine the energy, the focus, the confidence you'd gain. Removing bad habits creates space for success to flow in. It's like clearing weeds from a garden. Only when the weeds are gone can the flowers truly grow. So today, make a list of the habits you're ready to erase. Be honest, be specific, and then commit fully and completely to breaking free from them. Because the life you want isn't just about what you start doing. It's also about what you finally stop doing. When you erase the habits that keep you stuck, you unlock the freedom to rise higher than you ever thought possible. Chapter 6. Forge unbreakable self-discipline. Motivation is a great spark, but it burns out quickly. You've felt it before, that rush of energy after listening to an inspiring message or setting a big goal. For a few days, you're unstoppable. But then life happens. You get tired. You get distracted. You start slipping back into old habits. This is why most people never reach their potential. They rely on motivation, and motivation is temporary. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation disappears. It's what separates people who dream from people who do. It's the reason some achieve greatness while others stay stuck in the cycle of starting and stopping over and over again. If you want to transform your life in 21 days, you must forge unbreakable self-discipline, the kind that doesn't crack under pressure, the kind that makes your actions non-negotiable. Discipline is often misunderstood. People think it's about being harsh or living without joy. But real discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom. Think about it. When you're disciplined with your time, your health, your money, you gain control. You no longer live in chaos. You no longer feel like life is happening to you. Discipline gives you power. Without it, you drift. With it, you direct your life. The first step to building discipline is deciding who you are. When you see yourself as someone who follows through, you begin to act in alignment with that identity. For example, if you view yourself as a healthy person, skipping workouts feels unnatural. If you see yourself as someone who honors commitments, procrastinating feels wrong. Identity drives behavior. So instead of saying, I need to be more disciplined, start saying, I am a disciplined person. This small shift changes everything. Next, start small. Too many people try to overhaul their entire life overnight. They create a huge to-do list, wake up at 5 a.m., and go all in. And by day 3, they crash. Discipline is like a muscle. You wouldn't go to the gym for the first time and try to lift 300 pounds. You'd start light, build strength, and gradually increase the weight. The same principle applies here. Choose 1 or 2 key areas to focus on, and practice consistency. Even small wins build momentum. One powerful way to strengthen discipline is through daily non-negotiables. These are small, specific actions you commit to doing, no matter what. It could be drinking a certain amount of water, writing for 10 minutes, or exercising for 20 minutes. The key is to keep the promise to yourself every single day. Over time, these daily commitments send a message to your subconscious. I can trust myself. When I say I'll do something, I do it. That trust is the foundation of unbreakable discipline. Here's a truth most people don't want to hear. Discipline is built through discomfort. Growth only happens when you step outside your comfort zone. Every time you push yourself to do something hard, wake up early, finish a task you've been avoiding, say no to a temptation, you're strengthening your discipline muscle. It will never feel easy in the moment, but the reward is lasting strength. Another key element is structure. Don't rely on willpower alone. Willpower fades throughout the day. Instead, create systems that make discipline automatic. Plan your days the night before. Set up your environment to support your goals. If you want to eat healthy, prepare your meals in advance. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your clothes the night before. The fewer decisions you have to make, the easier it becomes to stay on track. When you slip, and you will, don't quit. Many people see one mistake as total failure. They miss one workout, break their diet, or procrastinate on a project, and then they spiral. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. If you fall, get back up immediately. The faster you recover, the stronger you become. Over the next 21 days, view each day as a test. Will you choose comfort or growth? Will you listen to the old voice that says, just this once, or will you honor the new identity you're building? Each time you choose discipline, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Imagine yourself 21 days from now, looking back with pride. You'll see a trail of consistent actions, moments where you push through resistance, and a new level of strength you didn't know you had. Discipline isn't built in one grand moment. It's built in thousands of small decisions, day after day. If you can master discipline, you can master anything, because with unbreakable self-discipline, nothing is out of reach. Your dreams become plans, your plans become reality, and you become unstoppable, not because you always felt like it, but because you acted, no matter how you felt. Chapter 7. Command your time. Command your destiny. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have. Money can be lost and earned again. Opportunities can come and go. But once a single minute passes, it's gone forever. That's why successful people treat their time with absolute respect. They don't waste it, and they don't let other people steal it. If you want to completely transform your life in 21 days, you must learn to command your time. Because the way you use your hours will determine the quality of your future. Most people live reactively. They wake up with no real plan, check their phone, and immediately get pulled into other people's agendas. Emails, notifications, social media, endless to-do lists. Before they know it, half the day is gone, and they've accomplished nothing meaningful. They confuse being busy with being productive. They rush, they stress, they hustle. Yet at the end of the week, they feel stuck in the same place. This happens because they've never truly decided what matters. Here's the truth. If you don't take control of your time, someone else will. Your boss, your friends, your phone, even random strangers online. They will all happily dictate how you spend your life, if you let them. You can't let that happen anymore. These next 21 days are about shifting from living by default to living by design. The first step is clarity. You must know exactly what's important to you. Look at your vision, the future you created in Chapter 2. What are the 3 to 5 key areas that matter most? Maybe it's your health, your business, your relationships, your personal growth. Once you know your top priorities, you have a filter. If a task doesn't move you closer to those priorities, it's not worth your time. Next, plan your days with intention. Don't just wake up and hope to be productive. Design your schedule the night before. Write down your top 3 most important tasks for the next day, the things that will create real progress toward your goals. These are your non-negotiables. When you wake up, tackle them first. This is called eating the frog, and it prevents you from procrastinating on what really matters. One of the most powerful time tools is the time block method. Instead of working in a scattered way, assign specific blocks of time to specific tasks. For example, you might dedicate 9 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. to deep work on a project, 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock to calls or meetings, and so on. During each block, you focus only on that task. No multitasking, no distractions. This helps you get more done in less time, because your brain isn't constantly switching gears. Speaking of distractions, you must protect your focus like a fortress. Every time you check your phone or glance at social media, you break your concentration. It can take over 20 minutes to fully regain focus after a single interruption. That means even quick checks are costing you hours of productivity. Turn off notifications. Put your phone on silent or in another room while you work. Create an environment that supports concentration instead of constant distraction. Another key element is learning to say no. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something vital. Many people struggle with this because they don't want to disappoint others. But remember, your time is your life. Protecting it isn't selfish. It's necessary. Before you agree to anything, ask yourself, does this align with my vision? Does it move me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, decline politely and move on. It's also important to schedule rest and renewal. Commanding your time isn't about working nonstop. It's about using your energy wisely. When you plan time for rest, exercise, and reflection, you perform at a much higher level when it's time to work. Think of yourself like an athlete, training hard, but also recovering smart. Over the next 21 days, track how you spend every hour. You may be shocked at how much time slips through the cracks on mindless activities. Awareness is the first step to change. Once you see where the leaks are, you can plug them and redirect that time into building the life you want. Imagine how different your life could look a year from now if you mastered this skill. The same 24 hours everyone else has could create extraordinary results for you because you use them with precision and purpose. Command your time, and you command your destiny, because your future isn't built in years or even months. It's built in the minutes and hours you choose to spend today. Every moment is a vote for the life you want to live. Make those votes count. Chapter 8. Rewire your mind for relentless growth. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every action you take, every decision you make, every habit you build, it all begins with a single thought. If you want to change your life in these 21 days, you must start by changing the way you think. Because here's the hard truth. You can have the perfect plan, the perfect goals, and even the perfect opportunities. But if your mind is still programmed with fear, doubt, and limitations, you will sabotage yourself before you ever succeed. Think about a computer for a moment. If the operating system is outdated or full of bugs, no matter how powerful the hardware is, it won't run smoothly. Your mind works the same way. Many people are trying to build a new life on old mental software. They've upgraded their goals, but not their mindset. And that's why they keep ending up in the same place, frustrated and stuck. To truly transform, you have to rewire your mind for relentless growth. That means clearing out the toxic thoughts and replacing them with beliefs that push you forward instead of holding you back. The first step is awareness. Most of the thoughts running through your mind each day aren't even yours. They're patterns you've absorbed from your family, your friends, your past experiences, and even society. Somewhere along the way, you started believing things like, I'm not good enough, success is for other people, or I always mess things up. These lies have been playing on repeat for years, and they've shaped your actions without you even realizing it. For the next 21 days, I want you to become the observer of your thoughts. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. When you catch a negative or limiting belief, don't just accept it as truth, pause and question it. Ask yourself, who told me this? Where did this belief come from? Is it helping me or hurting me? When you shine a light on these lies, they start to lose their power. Once you identify the thoughts that no longer serve you, replace them with empowering ones. This is where affirmations and visualization come into play. For example, if your old belief says, I'm terrible at staying consistent, your new belief might be, I am disciplined and follow through on my commitments. At first, this might feel fake. That's normal. Your brain has been programmed with the old message for so long that the new one will feel unfamiliar. But with repetition, the new belief starts to take root. Visualization is another powerful tool. Each morning, close your eyes and picture yourself living the life you want. See yourself acting with confidence, achieving your goals, and handling challenges with strength. The brain doesn't fully distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. By visualizing your success daily, you're training your mind to believe it's possible. And when your mind believes, your actions follow. But rewiring your mind isn't just about positive thinking. It's also about embracing discomfort and challenge. A growth mindset means seeing obstacles not as signs to quit, but as opportunities to grow stronger. When something feels hard, instead of saying, I can't do this, shift to, this is how I get better. Every challenge becomes a classroom, every failure a lesson, every setback a chance to rise higher. Another key to mental rewiring is curating what you feed your mind. Just like your body becomes what you eat, your mind becomes what you consume. If you constantly fill it with negativity, toxic news, gossip, criticism, you'll stay stuck in fear and doubt. Over the next 21 days, protect your mental diet. Read books that inspire you. Listen to podcasts that challenge you. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth. Replace mindless scrolling with learning and self-reflection. This process takes time and persistence. Some old beliefs will try to creep back in. That voice in your head might say, you'll never change. This is just who you are. When that happens, don't argue with it. Simply refuse to engage. Redirect your focus to the new identity you're building. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker behind the thoughts, and you have the power to choose which ones to believe. Imagine yourself 21 days from now, standing taller, speaking with confidence, and taking action with certainty. Not because your circumstances magically changed, but because you changed. Your mind became your greatest ally, instead of your biggest enemy. When you rewire your mind for relentless growth, you stop being trapped by the limits of your past. You become unstoppable because you no longer see yourself as someone trying to change. You see yourself as someone who is already evolving every single day. And once your mind expands, your life will never shrink back to its old size again. Chapter 9. Fortify your focus in a distracted world. We live in a time where your attention is constantly under attack. Every notification, every ad, every piece of breaking news is designed to pull you away from what truly matters. Think about it. How many times have you sat down to work on something important, only to find yourself scrolling through your phone 20 minutes later, wondering where the time went? Distraction has become the norm, and focus has become a rare and valuable skill. If you want to transform your life in 21 days, you must take back control of your focus, because whatever you focus on consistently will grow. Your focus is like sunlight. When scattered, it feels warm but doesn't do much. But when concentrated, like a laser beam, it has the power to cut through steel. The same is true for your life. When your energy is scattered across 1,000 little tasks and distractions, you make small, insignificant progress. But when you channel that energy into one meaningful direction, you create massive results. The problem is, most people never experience this kind of deep focus because they allow the world to dictate where their attention goes. The first step to fortifying your focus is understanding what steals it. In today's world, your phone is often the biggest culprit. Social media, endless notifications, emails, they're all engineered to keep you hooked. It's not your fault that it's hard to put the phone down. These platforms are designed to be addictive. But while it's not your fault, it is your responsibility to protect your mind. For the next 21 days, make a commitment to control your technology instead of letting it control you. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Delete apps that drain your time and attention. Create tech-free zones in your day, especially during your morning routine and your most important work hours. Next, practice single tasking. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain can only truly focus on one thing at a time. When you constantly switch between tasks, you waste mental energy and reduce your efficiency. It's like trying to run in 2 different directions at once. You end up going nowhere. Instead, commit to doing one thing with your full attention. If you're writing, just write. If you're exercising, just exercise. If you're having a conversation, give that person your undivided focus. This simple practice will dramatically increase your productivity and presence. Another key strategy is to create focus rituals. Your environment shapes your behavior. If your workspace is cluttered and full of distractions, your mind will feel scattered too. Start by clearing your physical space. A clean, organized environment signals to your brain that it's time to concentrate. You can also use rituals to train your mind to enter a state of focus. Maybe you light a candle, play specific background music, or take a few deep breaths before beginning a task. Over time, these small actions act like a switch, signaling your brain, now it's time to focus. You must also guard your focus from people. Not everyone deserves access to your time and energy. There will always be someone who wants just a minute of your time or who constantly brings negativity and drama into your world. Learn to set boundaries. This doesn't mean you stop caring about others, but it does mean you prioritize your own goals. When you say yes to every request, you're automatically saying no to your own growth. Be intentional with your yeses. Deep focus also requires clarity. If you don't know what matters most, everything will feel urgent. Start each day by identifying your top 3 priorities. These are the things that, if accomplished, will move you closer to your vision. During your most focused hours, work only on these priorities. Save less important tasks like email or errands for later in the day. One powerful method is the Pomodoro technique, working in focused 25 minutes to 50-minute intervals, followed by short breaks. This trains your brain to concentrate deeply without burning out. Over time, you'll find your ability to stay focused growing stronger, just like a muscle. Remember, focus isn't just about productivity, it's about fulfillment. When you're fully present in what you're doing, life feels richer. Whether you're working on a project, spending time with loved ones, or simply sitting in silence, focus allows you to experience each moment deeply instead of rushing through it. Over the next 21 days, treat your focus like gold. Protect it fiercely. Every time you resist a distraction, you're reclaiming a piece of your life. Every time you choose to give your full attention to what matters, you're building the future you want. In a distracted world, focus is a superpower. Most people will continue to live scattered and reactive, pulled in every direction, but not you. You've decided to rise above the noise, to become intentional and powerful with where you place your attention. Because when you fortify your focus, you gain the ability to shape your destiny, one concentrated moment at a time. Chapter 10. Build a circle that forces you higher. No one transforms their life entirely on their own. While your journey is deeply personal and your decisions are ultimately yours to make, the people you surround yourself with play a massive role in determining who you become. Think about it for a moment. The conversations you have, the energy you absorb, the habits you see every day, they all shape you, whether you realize it or not. Your environment isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's mental. And nothing impacts your environment more than the people you let into it. There's a powerful truth you need to understand. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If your closest friends are negative, lazy, and full of excuses, it's almost impossible for you to stay positive, driven, and focused. Even if you have big dreams, their energy will slowly pull you back down, like crabs in a bucket dragging down the one trying to climb out. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are disciplined, hungry for growth, and committed to excellence, they will naturally pull you higher. Their energy will challenge you. Their habits will inspire you. Their very presence will make you want to rise to their level. Over these next 21 days, you must take a hard look at your circle. Be brutally honest. Who in your life supports your vision and who drains it? Who pushes you forward and who holds you back? This isn't about judging people or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about protecting your future. You have to make a conscious decision about who gets access to your time and energy. Start by identifying the toxic influences. These are the people who constantly complain, criticize, or spread negativity. They're the ones who shoot down your ideas before you've even started. They don't just fail to believe in you, they actively discourage you from believing in yourself. Sometimes these people are obvious. Other times they're subtle, hiding their toxicity behind sarcasm or just being realistic. Either way, their presence is poison to your growth. You don't necessarily have to cut them out completely, especially if they're family or close friends. But you do need to limit their influence. Create boundaries. Spend less time with them. Stop sharing your biggest dreams with people who only want to tear them apart. Next, seek out growth-minded individuals. These are the people who make you feel like your goals are possible, even when they seem impossible. They challenge you to think bigger. They don't let you settle for less than your potential. When you talk to them, you leave feeling energized instead of drained. These are the people you want in your inner circle. If you don't currently have anyone like this in your life, don't worry. You can find them. Attend events, join online communities, take classes, or even start following and learning from mentors virtually. In today's world, you don't have to be physically close to someone to be influenced by them. Podcasts, books, videos, these can all become part of your circle if you engage with them consistently. Another key element is accountability. It's one thing to set a goal for yourself. It's another to have someone holding you to it. Find a friend, a coach, or a mentor who won't let you off the hook when you feel like quitting. Accountability isn't about punishment. It's about support. It's having someone who believes in you enough to call you out when you're not living up to your potential. Remember, this isn't just about finding people who will cheer you on. It's about building relationships that demand growth. Sometimes the people who push you hardest are the ones who love you most. They won't always tell you what you want to hear, but they'll tell you what you need to hear. And that honesty can be the difference between staying stuck and breaking through to a new level of success. Finally, realize that you also have a role to play. Don't just seek out people who will elevate you. Become someone who elevates others. Be the friend who inspires, the mentor who challenges, the example others want to follow. When you embody excellence, you naturally attract others who are striving for the same. Over the next 21 days, make it your mission to upgrade your circle. Limit your exposure to toxic influences. Seek out growth-minded connections, and create an environment where success is the norm, not the exception. Because when your circle is strong, you don't have to fight alone. You'll be surrounded by people who lift you higher, even on the days when you feel like falling. Your destiny isn't just shaped by your decisions, it's shaped by the people who walk beside you. Choose wisely, because the right circle won't just change your next 21 days, it will change the rest of your life. Chapter 11. Turn pain and fear into fuel. Pain and fear are two of the most powerful forces in your life. Most people spend their entire existence running from them. They avoid discomfort, they hide from challenges, and they let fear dictate every decision they make. But here's the truth. Pain and fear aren't here to destroy you. They are here to shape you, to strengthen you, and to guide you toward the person you are meant to become. The problem is never the pain or the fear itself. The problem is how you respond to it. Think about this for a moment. Every great transformation in history has been born out of struggle. The most successful people you admire didn't rise because their journey was easy. They rose because they were willing to face pain and fear head on while everyone else ran away. Pain isn't your enemy, it's feedback. It's a signal that something needs to change. Fear isn't a stop sign. It's a compass pointing directly toward your growth. For the next 21 days, I want you to look at pain differently. Instead of avoiding it, lean into it. When something feels uncomfortable, that's your opportunity to grow. Growth never happens in your comfort zone. It happens when you stretch yourself, when you do the thing you don't feel ready to do, when you step into situations that challenge you. Pain is the price of progress. Every time you feel it, remind yourself, this is proof that I'm evolving. Fear works the same way. Most people treat fear like a wall. They see it and immediately stop. They make excuses, they delay, they convince themselves they'll act later when things feel safer. But fear is actually a signal that you're heading in the right direction. The things that scare you most are often the very things you need to face to reach the next level of your life. If a goal doesn't scare you a little, it's probably too small. Here's a powerful mindset shift. Instead of asking, how can I get rid of my fear? Start asking, how can I move forward with my fear? Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. Brave people don't feel less fear than others. They've simply trained themselves not to let fear make their decisions. One practical way to do this is by breaking fear down into smaller steps. Imagine you have a dream that terrifies you, like starting a business, speaking in public, or leaving a job that drains you. Instead of focusing on the entire mountain, focus on the next single step. When you take small, consistent actions, fear begins to shrink because you're proving to yourself that you can handle it. Pain, on the other hand, can be turned into incredible motivation. Think back to the moments in your life that hurt the most. The disappointments, the failures, the heartbreaks. Instead of burying that pain, use it. Let it remind you why you refuse to settle. Let it fuel your hunger for something better. Tell yourself, I will never feel that kind of pain again because I'm building a life that rises above it. Many people try to numb their pain or pretend it isn't there. But if you embrace it and channel it, pain becomes one of the most powerful driving forces you'll ever experience. Here's a strategy you can use right now. Write down the 3 biggest fears that are holding you back. Be brutally honest. Then for each one, write a simple action you can take this week to face it, even in a small way. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, applying for an opportunity you feel unqualified for, or simply admitting to yourself that you've been afraid. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you take back a piece of your power. At the same time, write down one painful memory or current struggle that has been weighing on you. Look at it clearly. Then ask yourself, how can I use this to become stronger? Maybe your pain can drive you to get healthier, to work harder, to love deeper, or to finally create the life you deserve. The key is to stop letting pain be the thing that breaks you and start letting it be the thing that builds you. Over these 21 days, there will be moments when you're tested. You'll face challenges that push you to your limits. Fear will whisper lies. Pain will tempt you to quit. In those moments, remember this truth. Your greatest victories are on the other side of the things you're most afraid to face. When you turn pain and fear into fuel, you stop running and start rising. You stop being controlled by circumstances and start creating them. And one day you'll look back and realize that the very things you thought would break you were the same things that built the unshakable, unstoppable version of you that you were always meant to become. Chapter 12. Stack small wins until you're unstoppable. When people think about transformation, they often imagine one massive breakthrough moment, a dramatic event where everything changes overnight. But in reality, lasting success rarely happens in one giant leap. It's built through small, consistent actions repeated over time. Those little victories might not seem like much in the moment, but when they stack up, they create unstoppable momentum. Think of it like pushing a snowball down a hill. At first, it's tiny, barely moving, but with every push, it grows bigger and gains speed. Eventually, it becomes a force that's impossible to stop. Your growth works the same way. Every positive action you take is like adding another layer to that snowball. The progress might feel invisible at first, But if you stay consistent, there will come a day when the results are undeniable, not just to you, but to everyone around you. The mistake most people make is underestimating the power of small wins. They think, if I can't change everything at once, why bother? So they either try to do too much and burn out, or they do nothing at all. But here's the truth. It's not the huge, dramatic changes that transform you. It's the little, simple actions you take every single day. Drinking more water, waking up on time, reading for 10 minutes instead of scrolling on your phone, speaking up in one meeting instead of staying silent. These might seem small, but they are the building blocks of the person you are becoming. Small wins are powerful because they build trust with yourself. Think about it. Every time you set a goal and don't follow through, you chip away at your own confidence. You start believing that your word doesn't mean much. But when you set a small, achievable goal and actually complete it, you send yourself a different message. I can count on me. That inner trust is the foundation of self-discipline. And once you have it, you can tackle bigger challenges without hesitation. So how do you start stacking small wins? First, identify 1 or 2 areas of your life where you want to see change. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to fix everything at once. Maybe you want to get healthier, improve your focus, or grow your income. Pick a single action you can take daily that will move you closer to that goal. For example, if it's health, commit to drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning. If it's focus, commit to 10 minutes of reading or journaling instead of checking your phone. The key is consistency, not intensity. It's better to do a small action every day than a huge action once in a while. Imagine someone who goes to the gym for 2 hours once a month versus someone who works out for 20 minutes every day. Who do you think will see more progress? It's the same with every area of life. The compound effect of small wins will always beat occasional bursts of effort. Another benefit of small wins is momentum. When you experience even a tiny success, it creates a positive feedback loop. You feel good about yourself, which motivates you to keep going. That motivation leads to another action, which creates another win, and the cycle continues. Before you know it, you're doing things you once thought were impossible because you built confidence step by step. Of course, there will be days when you don't feel like showing up. This is normal. The old version of you will try to pull you back into comfort and laziness. On those days, remind yourself that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Even if you can't do everything, do something. Protect your streak of small wins, even if it's the tiniest action. That one choice can keep your momentum alive. Here's a simple exercise. At the end of each day, write down 3 wins, no matter how small. Maybe you made your bed, drank water instead of soda, or finished a difficult task at work. This practice trains your brain to focus on progress instead of perfection. It also helps you see that you are moving forward, even when the changes feel slow. Over the next 21 days, think of yourself as a builder. Every small win is like laying a brick in the foundation of your future. One brick doesn't look like much, but keep laying them, and soon you'll have built a structure so strong it can't be knocked down. There will come a moment when people around you start to notice. They'll say something's different about you. They won't see the small daily actions you've been taking, but they'll see the results, and you'll know exactly how you got there. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through relentless consistency. Stack small wins every single day, celebrate them, protect them, and let them build unstoppable momentum. Because when you master the art of consistent progress, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stand in your way. Chapter 13. Think and execute like the top 1%. Most people want success, but very few achieve it. It's not because they aren't capable. It's because they don't think like the top 1%, and they don't act like them either. The truth is, the gap between ordinary and extraordinary isn't talent or intelligence. It's mindset and execution. If you want to become unrecognizable in 21 days, you must begin to think and execute like the top performers in the world. The first thing you need to understand is this. The top 1% see the world differently. Where most people see problems, they see opportunities. Where others see obstacles, they see puzzles to be solved. They don't waste energy complaining about what they can't control. Instead, they focus relentlessly on what they can control. This mental shift alone sets them apart. While the majority are busy blaming circumstances, the top 1% are taking action and creating results. You must adopt this same way of thinking. The next time you face a challenge, catch yourself before you slip into victim mode. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I use this to grow? What's my next move? That single question puts you back in a position of power. Successful people don't sit around waiting for perfect conditions. They make progress with whatever resources they have, even when the situation isn't ideal. Another key difference is decisiveness. The top 1% make decisions quickly and with confidence. Most people waste endless time overthinking, second-guessing, and waiting for certainty. But here's the thing, certainty doesn't come before you act. It comes after. Successful people understand that hesitation is the enemy of progress. They'd rather make a decision, learn from the results, and adjust along the way, than sit still doing nothing. Remember this, progress beats perfection every single time. But thinking like the top 1% isn't enough. You must also execute like them. And that means being obsessed with follow-through. Average people set goals. The top 1% build systems. A goal might inspire you for a while, but a system keeps you consistent. For example, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, they create a system of daily habits, meal prep, scheduled workouts, tracking their progress. Instead of saying, I want to earn more money, they design a process to generate income step by step. Systems make success predictable instead of random. Another element of execution is speed. The top 1% move fast. They understand that ideas mean nothing without action. When they get an idea, they don't just think about it, they test it. They take that first step immediately, even if it's small. Why? Because action creates clarity. While everyone else is stuck planning and talking, they're already learning, adjusting, and gaining momentum. Over time, this speed compounds, creating a massive gap between them and everyone else. To execute at this level, you must also eliminate distractions. The top performers don't waste time on things that don't matter. They guard their focus like treasure. They say no more than they say yes. They prioritize relentlessly. They understand that every hour spent on something trivial is an hour stolen from their vision. If you want to rise to the top 1%, you must become ruthless about how you spend your time and energy. And here's something many people overlook. The top 1% are relentless learners. They don't assume they know everything. They seek out mentors, read constantly, and surround themselves with people who challenge them to grow. Their ego doesn't get in the way of their evolution. While others are comfortable being good enough, they're always asking, how can I be better? That humility mixed with hunger is a powerful combination. Start practicing this mindset today. When you wake up, ask yourself, what would the top 1% version of me do today? How would they approach their morning, their work, their conversations? Then act as if you are already that person. Over time, those actions will solidify into habits, and those habits will transform your identity. The truth is, there's nothing magical about the top 1%. They simply live by principles most people ignore. They take full responsibility. They move quickly. They think big but execute with precision. They block out noise and focus on what matters. And they never stop learning. Over the next 21 days, commit to thinking and executing like the top performers in the world. If you do, you'll notice a shift. Decisions will feel clearer. Progress will accelerate. Opportunities will appear because you're finally moving at a higher frequency. And one day you'll look around and realize you've joined that rare group of people who don't just talk about their dreams, they live them. This isn't about being better than others. It's about being the best version of yourself. When you think and execute like the top 1%, you're not just chasing success, you're building a life of impact, fulfillment, and freedom. A life that inspires others to rise as well. That's the real reward of playing at the highest level. Chapter 14. Stay ruthlessly hungry. While remaining humble, one of the most dangerous traps on the journey of transformation is comfort. Success has a way of softening people. You work hard, you push through challenges, you start to see results. And then, without even realizing it, you begin to relax. You let your guard down, you start coasting instead of climbing. Slowly, the hunger that drove you begins to fade. This is how people slip back into their old patterns. They stop growing because they think they've made it. If you want to create a life that's unrecognizable 21 days from now, and even more so a year from now, you must develop a mindset of relentless hunger. Hunger is what keeps you striving for the next level, no matter how much progress you've already made. It's that inner fire that says, I can do better. I will do better. The moment you lose that hunger, you start to decline. Look at anyone who's achieved extraordinary success over a long period of time. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. They all have one thing in common. They never stop chasing growth. Even when they're at the top of their game, they act like they're still the underdog. They don't take their position for granted. They wake up each day with something to prove, not to others, but to themselves. Here's the challenge. Staying hungry doesn't mean being reckless. Hunger without balance can turn into ego. When you let success go to your head, you become blind to your weaknesses. You stop listening. You stop learning. And you start thinking you're invincible. That's when downfall begins. History is full of stories of people who reached great heights, only to lose it all because they let arrogance take over. The key is to balance hunger with humility. Hunger drives you to push forward, but humility keeps you grounded. It reminds you that there's always more to learn, that there's always someone out there working harder, and that success is never guaranteed. Humility allows you to stay open to feedback and to grow without losing touch with who you truly are. Practically speaking, here's how you can stay ruthlessly hungry while remaining humble. First, always set new challenges for yourself. When you achieve a goal, celebrate briefly, but then move on to the next target. Don't let one victory become a resting place. Let it be a launching pad. Write down what's next, even before you've finished what you're currently working on. This keeps your momentum alive and your mind focused on growth. Second, surround yourself with people who inspire you and keep you honest. A strong circle won't let you settle. They'll celebrate your wins, but they'll also call you out when you're slipping. The right people will challenge you to stay sharp, while reminding you to stay humble. If everyone around you constantly tells you how amazing you are, you're in danger. Seek out mentors and peers who are ahead of you, who will remind you that there's always another level to reach. Third, stay connected to your why. Hunger fades when you forget why you started in the first place. Take time to reflect on your deeper purpose, the reason you're pushing so hard for this transformation. Maybe it's to provide for your family, to create freedom, to become a role model, or to fulfill your potential. Whatever it is, keep that purpose front and center. On the days when you feel tired or tempted to coast, your why will reignite your fire. Finally, practice gratitude. This might sound simple, but it's powerful. Gratitude is the antidote to ego. When you regularly take time to appreciate what you have, you stay humble. You realize that even though you've worked hard, much of your success is built on the support, opportunities, and lessons you've received along the way. Gratitude keeps your heart open, while hunger drives your ambition. Over these next 21 days, you will make progress. You will experience wins, and when you do, I want you to remember this. The journey isn't over. Every step forward is just the beginning of what's possible. Don't let early success fool you into thinking the work is done. Stay hungry. Wake up each day with the mindset of a beginner, ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to fight for your future. But at the same time, stay humble. Remember where you came from. Remember the struggles that shaped you. Remember that no matter how far you go, there's always another level to reach. When you combine relentless hunger with deep humility, you become unstoppable. You rise without arrogance. You grow without losing yourself. And that balance, that rare combination, will make you a force that not only achieves incredible success, but also inspires everyone around you to rise higher too. Chapter 15. The day you become unrecognizable. Imagine standing in front of a mirror 21 days from now, and barely recognizing the person looking back at you. Not because of how you look on the outside, though that may have changed too, but because of who you've become on the inside. The way you think, the way you move through the world, the way you carry yourself. That is the moment this entire journey has been leading you toward. Transformation doesn't happen in one big dramatic moment. It happens quietly, day by day, choice by choice. Most people never notice their own progress because they're too busy focusing on how far they still have to go. But then one day, something shifts. You handle a challenge differently. You make a decision you would have avoided before. You follow through on a promise you would have broken in the past. And that's when it hits you. I'm not the same person anymore. Over the past 14 chapters, you've been building that new version of yourself. You've burned down the old identity that kept you trapped. You've created a crystal clear vision for your future. You've taken extreme ownership, built unshakable discipline, and fortified your focus. You've learned to turn fear into fuel, to stack small wins, to protect your time, and to surround yourself with people who lift you higher. Step by step, you've been laying the foundation for a life that most people only dream about. Now, as you reach this final stage of the 21-day blueprint, your job is simple but not easy. Fully step into the identity you've been building. This means no more seeing yourself as someone who is trying to change. You are the change. You are the person who wakes up early, who takes action, who stays focused, who refuses to quit. It's no longer about doing these things just because they're part of a challenge. It's about becoming the kind of person who lives this way naturally, every single day. Think of it like wearing a new suit. At first, it feels unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable. You're aware of every detail, every move you make, but over time, as you wear it consistently, it begins to feel like a second skin. That's what identity shift feels like. At first, these habits and mindsets will require effort, but eventually they'll become who you are. You won't have to force yourself to take action. It will simply be part of your nature. One of the most important things to remember at this stage is that transformation is a journey, not a destination. Even when you've become unrecognizable from who you were 3 weeks ago, there will always be another level to reach. This isn't the end of your growth. It's the launch pad for everything that comes next. That's why humility, as we discussed in the last chapter, is so vital. It keeps you open, hungry, and ready for the challenges ahead. As you step fully into this new identity, take a moment to reflect on the old you, not with shame, but with gratitude. That version of you was doing the best they could with the tools they had. They carried you this far, but now it's time to release them completely. Like shedding an old skin, you must let go of who you were, so you can fully embrace who you are becoming. Here's a powerful practice to mark this moment. Write a letter to yourself, dated 21 days ago. In it, thank the old version of you for their efforts. Then declare with certainty who you are now. Describe your new identity in vivid detail. Your habits, your mindset, your energy. Speak it into existence. This isn't just an exercise, it's a declaration that there's no going back. From this day forward, you are no longer the person who hesitates, who doubts, who hides from their potential. You are a builder, a creator, a warrior of your own destiny. When challenges come, and they will, you'll face them with strength and clarity. When fear shows up, you'll use it as fuel. When others try to drag you back into the past, you'll rise above with grace and determination. The moment you fully step into this identity is the moment your external world begins to shift. Opportunities will appear. Relationships will evolve. Your results will accelerate. Because the world always reflects who you believe yourself to be. Today you cross a line. There's no halfway commitment, no trying or hoping. You either claim this new version of yourself, or you don't. But if you do, if you fully embrace the unrecognizable version of you that's been emerging over these 21 days, you'll unlock a future beyond anything you've imagined. Look in that mirror one more time. See the strength in your eyes. See the fire in your spirit. This is you, the real you. And from this moment on, there is no turning back. Conclusion. 21 days ago, you made a decision. You chose to step away from the old version of yourself, the one weighed down by fear, doubt, excuses, and untapped potential. And you began a journey of transformation. Along the way, you've destroyed limiting beliefs, built new habits, fortified your focus, and learned to take full ownership of your life. You've been through discomfort, faced challenges head-on, and proven to yourself that you are far more capable than you ever imagined. But as powerful as these past 3 weeks have been, this is not the finish line. This is just the beginning. Transformation is never a one-time event. It's a way of living. These 21 days were about resetting your mind, body, and spirit, giving you the tools to create a future that's bigger than your past. Now it's your responsibility to keep building. The principles you've learned here are timeless. They don't expire on day 22. Discipline, clarity, focus, courage. These are muscles you must keep strengthening. Some days will be easier than others. There will be moments when the old habits try to creep back in, when doubt whispers in your ear, or when life throws unexpected challenges your way. That's when you must remember why you started. That's when you dig deeper and keep going, even when it feels hard. The difference between those who achieve lasting success and those who fade back into the crowd isn't talent or luck. It's commitment. It's the willingness to keep showing up long after the initial excitement has worn off. It's choosing to keep your vision alive, even when no one else believes in it yet. As you move forward, keep revisiting your vision. Keep surrounding yourself with people who push you higher. Keep stacking small wins and celebrating your progress. And most importantly, Keep becoming the kind of person who inspires others simply by the way you live. Your transformation will create a ripple effect, showing those around you what's possible when someone decides to take control of their destiny. 21 days may not seem like much, but you've proven how quickly life can change when you commit fully. You are no longer the same person you were when you started. You've built a foundation of strength, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Now it's time to expand it. The next chapter of your life is unwritten, and you hold the pen. Will you let old patterns return, or will you rise higher than ever before? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you get to make every single day. Look back with gratitude, look forward with excitement, and stand firmly in the present with courage. You've created the blueprint. You've built the habits. You've stepped into the identity of the person you were always meant to be. Now go out into the world and live it. Prove to yourself and to everyone watching that transformation isn't temporary. It's who you are now. This journey doesn't end here. It only grows stronger from this moment on. And the most exciting part, you are just getting started.